So this innovation engineering digital class is designed in front of the stimulus mining class that you're going to do. We're going to review the fundamentals, remind you of some things that you might have done a few weeks ago. We're going to teach you the basics of stimulus mining and how to share the mining with the team so that you can work on one of your very important problems or opportunities your organization faces. Now recall, meaningful, unique ideas come from exploring stimulus, leveraging diversity, and driving out fear. Stimulus feeds the brain. It's about learning. Now, the classic way to create ideas is brainstorming, brain draining, or the suck method of creativity. Instead, we're going to take your brain and feed it with stimulus to set off a chain reaction of ideas. So you come up with ideas for where to go on vacation with a blank piece of paper or stimulus. Now, the stimulus that we're talking about comes from some very specific types, from technology to market mining to insight to future mining. Now, the most important skill in all of this is curiosity. You've got to want to learn. Now, when it comes to priorities, we know which ones are the most effective because academic research shows us that the singular most valuable of these is technology. Next is future, anticipating the future. And third is market mining or benchmarking against the competition, and insight and customer mining. The fact of the matter is, folks, that if you want to have innovations that transform your organization and take you on a new trajectory, doing just what the customers want or matching the competition isn't going to do it. We need to go further. And in fact, here it is, Journal of Product Innovation Management, 5 times more effective those companies that do technology mining. So what's technology mining about? Well, there's 2 parts to it. First is wisdom, which is research and expertise. There is a wealth of wisdom in academic articles and in professors who do nothing but studying. The challenge is taking that, understanding it, and translating it into practice. The best part is it's free. Second is technology, whether it's a capability that a company has, a trade secret, or a patent, any amount of technology that you can find. So let's take them one at a time. Quick tips. Well, first off, inside innovationengineeringlabs.com, under tools, you'll see a academic research thing that's connected to EBSCOhost. What we've done is gone through and got a database that has about 70% full text articles. You can use Google Scholar and others to find some, but oftentimes you have to then go buy the article. Here, you've got the articles right there. Now, when you're looking at them, you want to look at the title first to see if it makes sense, the abstract, and then the introduction and the conclusion. That gives you a quick way to see if this article can help you. Now, I'll tell you, sometimes that background can be valuable because they will literally summarize the core theory associated with the field, and it makes you an instant expert. It gives you a frame of reference on to look at, and it'll oftentimes connect you to other studies. So it's not a matter of just looking for the answer. You're like a detective, curious to learn and understand. Next, you go after more knowledge. The author will oftentimes at the end suggest areas for future research, and depending upon what the article is, that research may have already been done. In the bibliography, it'll give you connections to other articles, and you can find others that you can search for to find more. Having started in this dig, you then read more to saturate your brain. Now, I understand that some of these can be difficult to read, but folks, that's why it's so important that we pick ideas that we're truly passionate about, that we want to learn about, because they matter to us. The next step then is to go talk to experts. They're guaranteed to know more than the article, and in fact, they usually love the fact that somebody called because rarely do people call when they publish these things. Next up, technology mining. Now, when we start to look for this stuff, the tendency is going to be to just try to go look for the absolute answer. Well, you're not going to find that. I can tell you right now, you're not going to find it. So you got to look in some different ways. One is search for benefits and effect. A drug company had a foaming problem. They found the answer in the brewing industry. Gary Gottenbush, a baker, found a way to use an industrial water jet to cut cakes with a level of clarity and shape that can't be done any other way. Procter & Gamble's #1 tech miner doesn't even really look for inventions. He uses the inventions to point him to inventors who can solve the problem or point him to others who can. So notice, he's searching inventions to find the inventor, not the invention. Apple Computer, one of the keys is when it came to the iPod, that came from 8 separate experts or technologies that were brought together to make it work. So the first 3 steps. Look for the free wisdom, Look for free inventions, things that are in the public domain. Look for patent deals, and I'll talk to you about that in a minute. It's called the patent flea market. Ideas that you can buy at a very good price. The next two steps, innovationsupplychain.com. Don't worry, these addresses will be in the lab class that you're about to go to, where the technology is translated so you can understand the business opportunity in 2 minutes or less, much easier to read, and then patented inventions. And we have a new tool. It's in the process of development. Depending upon when you're recording this, it may be up or not. And depending upon what your usage is of labs, depending upon who you are, you may have more or less access to it. But it's a super search that allows you to make one search and to search all of these things at one time. Patent flea market, I'll point out in particular, these are patents that 250,000 patents each year, fully enforced patents that are going in the public domain that you can get good deals on. Here's an example. Here's an academic article that links decision making with happiness. How presentations of choices, and so this is on a coffee project on how we could use this to help us. Here's a patent for a special insulated cup. It doesn't apply, but it may be inspiration for something else. See, we're not looking for the answer, we're looking for stimulus. Okay, having done technology, wisdom, and technology mining, now let's do future mining. See, the data says here, future focus, 10 times more predictive success than the voice of the customer approach. So that's why we're starting to look forward. Confronting the obvious, being a proactive leader. We're going to look for mega shifts and trends and things that are going on. The fact of the matter is the future is not linear. It rarely continues in that way. Something happens, it's usually not that much of a surprise that disrupts the linearity. This mega shift has a market consequence and it generates possibilities. Here's an example. Trendwatching.com. Here's a thing about status and how could this be used to help inspire ideas for our coffee cup. Here's another one. Looking at another element to see this phenomena of Instagram and how we use this. Every month, a new briefing on trends is up at Trendwatching. You also want to look at the offbeat thoughts. Those people that are different and on the fringes, those leading edge customers, those people. I will never forget going to a trade show and at a 10-foot booth, seeing these folks with a company that they had this new beverage product they were going to do. I found the beverage product. I took it to my boss at Procter & Gamble. I said, I think this is pretty neat. He said, they'll never become anything. The product was called Snapple. Became a mega multi-million dollars, been bought and sold by folks for some number of times. Insight mining. There's a lot of different ways. Customer insight mining, observations, or ethnography as it's called by fancy folks. Digital digs and the internet. Incredible information we can learn there. Surveys and conversations. It starts with digital digs, looking about your company, the industry, in your country, and the world. Not just reading them, but posting requests for thoughts. And when we're talking to people, 3 simple questions. What do you like? What else? What else? What else? What do you dislike? What else? What else? What else? And what would be such a why you'd be willing to pay more money for it if it was available? Observations are about first person feeling the pain, listening deeply, being fully present, don't debating, not assuming, but thinking. Thinking, what are they saying? How are they saying it? Why are they saying it? See, the key is to go further. Instead of just asking customers what they want and doing it, observe and immerse, think deeply, and then leapfrog. What's the root issue? What's the real thing? Now, as you do this, you need to be respectful of perception versus reality. Because what people perceive is what they believe, and perception is the only reality they're going to spend their money on. And so the fact that somebody says something that's wrong, we must honor that misperception. And how can we leverage that? There's a lot of ways to do this. There's Alltop, a website that links to many other websites. You can look in blogs. Here's a blog talking about coffee being hot and the challenges with it. And maybe this could inspire something. In the rail industry, here's customers log complaints on a .gov website of the government of issues that they've got. Here's another one, a 20-something mom blogging about challenges that we could learn from. And here, a client had a whole bunch of ideas and put it in a word cloud. There's this wonderful thing called Wordle.net that helps you find them. Market mining. Who else is doing this and what are they doing? Looking not only in your town, state, country, but planet Earth. What can you learn? How they offer it, how they package it, describe it. Parts, pieces, methods. I mean, remember, the best searches on the internet are around 8 words. So you can say, coffee shops, best coffee shop in Thailand. best breakfast in Finland. And all of a sudden, you'll start to take you to a whole new part of the world and see another way of doing it.